Right. So the picture that we're looking at here is of Nora Lake at Sweetland Farm in Norwich, Vermont. And she is a small-scale, diversified vegetable farmer. And she also manages about 60 acres of hayfields. And I guess it was in the fall of 2018. Myself and Sid Bosworth responded to her questions about renovating one of her fields because she was experiencing low yields and lower growing grass variety was kind of overtaking her orchard grass and timothy and other sorts of grasses that she preferred for her hay harvesting. So we went out there and we talked a lot about different options that she might consider. And one of the ideas that we came up with was trying to interseed some new grass. So she thought that timothy and orchard grass would be just a good starter mix for her to try out interseeding. So knowing that sort of plan, and she had her soil tests and applied the necessary recommendations that resulted from those soil tests, and I linked up with the Natural Resources Conservation District that has a no-till grain drill that can be used for hayfield renovations like this. So, and we work closely together in partnership with the Connecticut River Watershed Farmers Alliance as well. So we were able to get the drill for Nora, or she went and picked it up, but we were able to get it reserved for her. And then myself and with Steve Stocking from the Connecticut River Watershed Alliance on the phone, and Nora and one of her crew members were able to get the drill calibrated and ready for a September seeding of this orchard and timothy grass to try and sort of overcome this low growing blue Kentucky bluegrass that was sort of taking over her fields in a way that she didn't appreciate. So we spent the afternoon getting it ready, and this is sort of at the start of the seeding where we're out in the field, everything is adjusted, and she's looking at the furrows created by the discs that are cutting into the sod to measure the depth of the seeding. So she's got a measuring tape there by her knee, and I don't know if that's duct tape or something, but anyway, she's she was sticking the measuring tape into that furrow and measuring the depth and making sure that also seed is dropping. So we're getting down on our hands and knees and looking into that slit in the ground for those seeds that were that she was planting that day. So looking for that seed drop and that hoping for that necessary seed to soil contact that drills are really good at helping to establish. So that's what this picture is looking at. The story here is, a renovation of a hayfield without sort of flipping it over into, tilling it up and totally exposing all the soil, and in a way that might be risky in terms of erosion, but also not knowing what next year's weather was going to be like, which, this was in 2019. So in 2020, we were in pretty severe drought most of the year. If she had turned this field over, tilled it in, and did a totally new seeding, and we had no rain, which was the case here in 2020, it would have been a pretty sad situation for the time and money spent on that sort of other alternative field renovation option. So she opted for the no-till drill, and as sort of a less risky trial for renovating her hay fields. And let's see, what else? Yeah, Nora's just she's a great partner. She works a lot with UVM Extension. I know she works actively with Terry Bradshaw and Anna Hazel Rigg, myself, Becky Madden, Vern Grubinger. Really smart farmer, and at least of the farms that I work with, one of the few female farmers, and is providing a lot of amazing food for the Upper Valley here along the Connecticut River. So I'm not sure if